Welcome back to the Larry Mahaney Diamond in Standish, Maine on the campus of St. Joseph's College for the second leg of this GNCBL Sunday afternoon/morning, afternoon now, doubleheader between the Lightning and the Nor'easters, the two top teams in the GNCBL. The last game we saw the Nor'easters cruise to a 5-1 win. This time, the home and away sides are switched, and the Lightning are hoping the winner and loser sides are switched as well. The starting pitcher for the Lightning is the man who closed out the last game. He's now starting this one, Ian Libby, the 6'7" right-hander out of Gray. Pitched a couple innings in relief after the game was all but spent. Did not allow a run, but was not able to see his team come to victory. He's hoping for a different outcome today. I'm Charlie Fellows, as always, to take you through this game. Here in beautiful Standish, Maine. The defense around Libby has changed a bit. Richie Gilboy at first, Grady Hotham at second, Henry Bebo at short, Andrew Heffernan at third. In the outfield from left to right, Nick Swain, Henry Lodger, and Reese Owens, and Gus Holland behind the plate for Libby, who is set to face the leadoff man for the Nor'easters. Their lineup is identical. A bit of the defensive positions have changed, and I'll go over that in the bottom of the first. But for now, Jack LeBlond ready to bat to get the second half of this doubleheader underway between the 11-8 Nor'easters and the 7-6 Lightning. And Libby fires in strike one as we are underway to Jack LeBlond, a senior at USM from Lewiston and Bridgeton Academy. He's hitting .368, coming into this doubleheader with 7 runs batted in. Takes ball 2. Libby gets him to foul one off his foot. He's got a bit of a limp. Gonna try and walk it off. Libby, as I said, pitched 2 1/3 innings at the end of the last game. Did not allow a hit, struck out 2 and allowed just 1 base runner on a hit by pitch as he gets LeBlond to chase a sinker in the dirt to start this off with a strikeout. Libby's known for those. He has 17 Ks on the season. Now we'll bring up Brady Graffam, who went 1 for 2 with a double, a line out, and a walk in the first game. A sophomore at USM from Thornton Academy. He's one of many players taking advantage of the increased playing time the GNCBL will get you. His freshman year with the Huskies had just 1 hit. He's got more than that, to say the least, this year. Batting .233, hit 3 doubles, batted in 7 runs. 2-1 count from Libby. Lined up the middle and through the hole for a base hit. Graffam on first. The Nor'easters, as they did last game, waste no time in getting base runners. Luke Chessie now, senior at Bowdoin, also from Saco. In game 1, he went 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He did walk twice, though, and scored in the first. Started a 2-out rally with the first walk. Big chase for strike 1. Libby loves throwing to first. You saw that already. Richie Gilboy there in case he decides to. Instead, he'll throw home, and that skips in the dirt for a ball. 1-1. Top of the first, 1 out, 1 on. Runner goes. Cut and a miss from Chessie. Throw comes into second and past the glove of the shortstop, Bebo. Hotham was there as backup, but Chessie in with a steal. Graffam, excuse me, in with a steal. 1-2 count to Luke, who's hitting .306 this year. Batted in 7 runs. Could bat in his 8th, but not in this at-bat. He strikes out. 3 batters faced, and already 2 of them down on strikes from Libby. 2 down for Dawson Gunlaw, a senior at St. Joseph's, playing in the friendly confines of Larry Mahaney Diamond. Libby steps off to look Graffam back. In game 1, Gunlaw was 1 for 3, had a pair of flyouts and a single. Golfs that foul off to the right. Libby fires, just misses. And missing again, 2-1 the count. To Gunlaw, the business management major here at St. Joe's. 3-1. Gunlaw is hitting .355. He was the GNCBL batting title holder for a brief period at the start of the year. Landon Schwartzman has long since eclipsed him, as he's eclipsed just about everyone in every batting-related category. Libby's 3-1, fouled back. Payoff pitch to the York native. On the ground, foul. And that's inside for ball 4. So 2 men on and 2 out for the Nor'easters in the first inning. A familiar story. Andrew Merrill now up, a sophomore at East Connecticut State. In game 1, he went 0 for 2. He walked in the first inning and scored, then struck out twice. Looks at strike 1. The Oxford native, Oxford Hills Comprehensive High School graduate. Chop foul. He is hitting .318 coming into the doubleheader. Runner goes, but Andrew makes contact with it. So back to third goes Graffam. Dawson Gunlaw on first, Graffam on second. Libby's 0-2. Down the third baseline, foul. The Lightning trying to break even in this doubleheader to keep themselves in a virtual tie with the Nor'easters at first. That one stays fair. Stepping on the bag for the third out is Heffernan. And none come around to score this time in the first inning for the Nor'easters. When we come back, you'll meet the Lightning in their new defensive lineup and their new starting pitcher. Nor'easters, excuse me, for both of those. Bottom of the first, the Nor'easters now out on defense with their new starting pitcher, Colin McDonald, a sophomore at USM out of Gorham. He has a defense around him of Luke Chessie at first, Max Cloutier now at second, Jack LeBlond at short, Gus Lappin at third. In the outfield, Brady Graffam in left, 100% in center, Michael Weirn moving to right, and Andrew Merrill doing the catching. For McDonald, his 30 strikeouts are a distant second in the GNCBL. I mentioned in the first game, Owen Sullivan has 47. He added 9 to that total on Thursday at this very park. The Windjammers defeated the Nor'easters 9-3. But McDonald's 30 Ks are second. In 19 and a third innings, he has a 2.90 ERA and a 1.29 walks and hits per innings pitched, both toward the top of the league. He's facing a Lightning lineup of Henry Lodger, Andrew Heffernan, Richie Gilboy, Grady Hotham, Henry Bebo, Gus Holland, Reese Owens, Ian Libby, and Nick Swain. Essentially the exact same lineup, except Nick Frink is out, and Libby and Swain tacked on to the end instead of inhabiting the same lineup spot. Henry Lodger will lead it off, as he so often does. He went 1 for 3, in game one with a single pop-out strikeout and a walk. Takes strike one from McDonald and lines that to short. LeBlond over to Chessie for out number one. Andrew Heffernan now had an up-and-down day, a good start with a double and a single, but then struck out in his third at-bat and ended the game with a ground out to short. With runners on second and third and 2 outs, the Lightning perhaps in a chance to rally back from a 5-1 deficit, but they did not. Line to second. Over to Chessie for out number 2. That was Cloutier with the play on that fast-paced liner. And Richie Gilboy with 2 down. He and Heffernan, the back-to-back power hitters from South Portland, defending Maine Class A high school champions. Gilboy went 1 for 3 with a single of pop out and a ground out in the first game. He has been the GNCBL's top hitter, at least from a power standpoint, though his average 406 is 4th in the league. His 688 slugging is 3rd. He's the only batter in the league with multiple home runs, and he's batted in 15 more. Skied foul, out of play. Lightning already with some bullpen work. Josh Kopetsky up and working. Ian Libby did pitch in the last game, so you would not expect his outing to be too long. 0-2, fought off by Gilboy. The stadium scoreboard now reading 0-3. A perilous count for anyone, but Gilboy can overcome it as he hits that high and deep into center. But able to make the grab over his shoulder is 100% to end the threat, to the extent that there ever was one, because 1-2-3, the Lightning go in the bottom of the first, 0-0 after 1. Top of the second in Standish, and as I theorized, Ian Libby is done after just one inning start. He is at first base now, and the man on the mound for the Lightning is Josh Kopetsky. And that's first pitch he throws is into right field, a base hit for Michael Wern. One pitch at bat for him. Kopetsky out of Thornton Academy, going to Rhode Island in the fall, now facing off against Dylan Furman with a man on and none out. Furman in game one went 0 for 2, did walk, but flied out twice. And chases a slider for strike one. Bit of defensive movement. Gilboy down to third from first. Not sure where Heffernan went. I'll get those subs to you once I know them. Into left field, going back, and that's on the warning track. Being waved home is Michael Wern. He will score, or no, he will not. No, that throw will beat him. A wonderful relay from the left fielder, Nick Swain. I was a bit too trigger happy on that call, and he has gone down a triple. Nothing to sneeze at for Dylan Furman. The first of the season for him, but Michael Wern got a little greedy. Coach Max Zalewski Jr. waved him in, and that was ill-advised. Strike one taken by Gus Lappin. So 0-0 will remain. That's hit high into center field, going back on it, Lodger to make the over-the-head catch, and now tagging and scoring is Furman, so the Nor'easters do get on the board on a Gus Lappin sac fly. Base is empty, 2 down for Max Cloutier. Sophomore at St. Lawrence. In game one, he was 0 for 2, a hit by a pitch, a pop out, and a ground out. Here in the top of the second. Kopetsky leaves it low, 1-1. Cloutier takes strike 2. If Cloutier does make it out here, it's possible that the throw to home would not have mattered, considering this would now just be third base and 1 out, instead of bases empty and 2 outs, which is where it currently rests. One, two. Just outside. 2-2. Kopetsky. Cut and a miss. That will retire the side. The Nor'easters have a man thrown out at the plate, but all is not lost. They still, for the second straight time, crack the scoreboard first. They lead it 1-0 at St. Joe's. Bottom of the second, Colin McDonald now with a 1-run lead. And after retiring the first 3 Lightning batters in order, he goes to work against Grady Hotham with Henry Bebo and Gus Holland both due up. Hotham had a rough go of it in game one. He was 0 for 3 with a swinging strikeout, and a looking strikeout. He accounted for a little less than a third of Dylan Minder's K total. Down 0-2. It's rather up 2-0. Taken for strike 1 by the Palermo native, Erskine Academy graduate up in South China. Wave at and missed. That will be strike 3. First K for McDonald to add to his league silver medal total. Henry Bebo was 1 for 3. He had a single in the first inning, followed by a pair of groundouts to third. He is heading to Bowdoin in the fall, graduated from Portland High School in the spring. Taken in for a strike from McDonald. And that's fouled back. Another quick 0-2. Bebo, a 5'7" righty. At shortstop, or at least he started the game there. And that hit him. So first base runner of the day allowed by McDonald on the hit by pitch. That will bring Gus Holland to the plate with 1 away and 1 on. Playing his native catcher today after moonlighting in right field in the first half of this doubleheader. McDonald starts him off just high. He was one of a couple 0 for 3s in game 1 with a flyout, a ground out, and a strikeout. The anti-cycle, you could say. That's high into shallow right. Michael Warren under it to make the grab for out number 2. That was Max Cloutier at second. Excuse me. Reese Owens now, the right fielder for this one. Number 11 out of South Portland. Heading to St. Joseph's in the fall. Soon to make this park his home. Takes strike 1. Owens in the first game grounded out to short twice before singling and reaching third on a pass ball, which is where he was stranded on the Andrew Heffernan ground out when the game ended. 0-1. Just low. McDonald fires in a fastball. Henry Bebo on first. 2 away. And he chases a high fastball for strike 3, second K of the inning for McDonald, and another nearly spotless frame for the Nor'easters ace. We head to the bottom of the second, or top of the third, rather. 1-0 Nor'easters. Top 3, Josh Kopetsky out to pitch another inning to face off against Brissett, and the top of the order in LeBlond and Graffam for the Nor'easters. Hunter Brissett is the 10th and final man in the lineup, as he was in Game 1. He went 0 for 3. He was the only Nor'easter not to reach base in the first game. The sophomore at USM from Lisbon. Kopetsky up or down 2-0. Outside. Or no, they called that a strike. 2-1. Excuse me. Lefty gets him to chase. Brissett 2-2, the electrical engineering major at USM. As a freshman, had 11 at-bats, got a hit once. Count goes full. To the 6-foot utility man from Lisbon Falls High School. He takes strike 3, and his struggles continue. That concludes the Lightning order's first time through the order. They had 4 Ks, 2 each to Libby and Kopetsky. That will bring up Jack LeBlond with 1 away, 1 away. Gus Holland can't make the stop. It goes to the backstop for ball 1. LeBlond started the game off with a swinging strikeout. He's second of the day across 2 games. Kopetsky leaves it low. And that's a duck out of the way for a 3-0 count. Kopetsky. And that's a 4-pitch walk. LeBlond's first look at the Rhode Island commit goes well for him. First walk issued by either side today. Brady Graffam has a single. He takes strike 1. Holland able to track down that wayward ball to prevent LeBlond from advancing. Throw to first. Yields nothing. And again, closer that time. Taken outside, 1-1 from Kopetsky. Slow play game here. Kopetsky, one of a few Lightning pitchers known to be a slow worker with men on. 2-1. Fires in a strike to even the count to Graffam, the sophomore at USM from Saco. Got some Saco on Saco action to Thornton Academy graduates, 1 year apart. Hit into center, coming on Lodger to make the catch for out number 2. Luke Chessie struck out his first time up. And Kopetsky throws over to first and gets Jack LeBlond caught in a pickle. And as soon as that is formalized, he's running back and forth trying to juke him out. Lasted for a little while, but you cannot escape destiny as sound as that one, and that will be out number 3. The Nor'easters have a base runner, but no score in addition to the 1 run they already have. To the bottom of the 3 we go here at the Larry Mahaney Diamond at St. Joe's. Colin McDonald has allowed just 1 base runner through 2. He will face Libby, Swain, and Lodger in the bottom half of the 3rd. His squad up by 1. Not a comfortable margin, but a positive one nonetheless. Ian Libby will bat. He struck out and singled last game after replacing the man on deck, Swain, in the lineup. Oh, and he loses control of his bat on that. Strike 1 goes flying right toward Nick Swain's head. Swain able to duck out of the way. And actually, that's Kopetsky on deck, so the lineup already different. See if his bat is okay. Should be. That was potentially a scary play if Kopetsky had been in the middle of a swing and not seen that coming. A 1 from McDonald. Taken low. And through Andrew Merrill's pads. Fouled back for strike 2 by the 6'7" Libby. Pitched 3 2/3 innings across 2 games today. And he takes strike 3, getting a taste of his own medicine. Second strike K across 2 innings for McDonald, 3rd overall. Now we'll bring up Josh Kopetsky, batting in the spot originally bookmarked for Nick Swain. So, lineup tweak. Kopetsky is not batted today. He is the new addition to the lineup with Nick Frink having to depart. So far, he's pitched 2 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 run, 2 strikeouts, and a walk. Swings and misses there. Lightning with 2 pitchers batting back-to-back. Certainly not an ideal arrangement. But Libby with a hit already today in Game 1. Kopetsky goes down on strikes. That's 3 straight Ks now. And that brings the top of the order back up. Henry Lodger led off the game by grounding out to short. Swings at a breaking ball in the dirt from McDonald for strike 1, who now seems to have found his groove. Another swing and a miss. Blows right by him with a fastball there. McDonald to strike out the side. Leaves it low. Two and two. In the bottom of the 3rd, with 2 away. And he struck him out. Colin McDonald strikes out the side to bring his game total to 5. And the nor'easter total across the 2 games here today to 15. And surely climbing. McDonald does not seem anywhere close to done. We head to the 4th inning now. A 1-run game here in Standish. We're ready to start the top of the 4th inning with Luke Chessie, Dawson Gunlaw, and Andrew Merrill. Batters 3, 4, and 5 due up. And Kopetsky back on the mound for his 3rd frame of work. Starts Chessie off high. He struck out swinging his first time up. also did that to end the last game, so he has struck out twice in a row. Now 1-1 on him. Kopetsky has pitched well. He's allowed just the 1 run. Into center. Lodger under it. Makes the grab. Dawson Gunlaw walked in the first inning, his first time. Has also singled today and flied out twice. Those were both in game 1. Swings at Kopetsky's first offering. And lays off his second. 1-1. So far, Kopetsky's line, 2 innings and 1/3, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Honestly, nothing to sneeze at. It just doesn't help that one of those hits was a Dylan Furman triple that wound up getting Michael Weirn thrown out at home, but Furman was able to score on a sac fly for what is right now the difference in the game. 2-2 count. Fights one off. And that goes off the roof of the dugout and right into the waiting mitt of catcher Gus Holland, who appeals to the umpire to give him trick shot points and maybe a free out. No dice, though. Two and two. Kopetsky deals. And that hit him. That was a quick fastball. Got Gunlaw right on the side, so he gets a free pass for the second time. A walk his first time up and hit by pitch here. First batsman that Kopetsky has hit. So 1 out base runner for Andrew Merrill, who grounded out to short in the first to end that inning. Big cut. Part of the unfortunate nature of the angle I have to use for these games is that it does not do this field justice. It's truly a beautiful park, surrounded on 3 sides by the woods. And if you go back the opposite direction of the one you're looking right now, you'll eventually find Sebago Lake. Though around here, pick a direction and walk, and you'll most likely run into Sebago Lake at some point. Certainly sounds like a nice place to be right now, but calling a baseball game is the place I'd always rather be. 2-2. And a right for Reese Owens to make the grab for out number 2. Michael Weirn reached on a single, then was forced to go home on a Dylan Furman triple. Assistant coach Max Zalewski Jr. waved him in, and that turned out to be ill-advised, as he was thrown out on a pinpoint relay from Nick Swain, as we've got a mound conference here with manager Matt Powers talking to his infield and Zalewski. Does not appear as though there'll be a pitching change. Just a strategy discussion with 2 down. Michael Weirn at the plate. one of 3 men that has gotten a hit so far today in this game. And it is so. Kopecky still in. With 2 down in the top of the 4th, Weirn takes high. The junior who calls this ballpark home at St. Joseph's. Originally from Ellington, Connecticut, though he is lodging here for the summer, thankfully. It's not a commute I would wish on anyone. 0-1. That's high. Throw down to first was close, but Libby couldn't get the tag on. Taken inside for ball 3, I believe. Fouled back by Weirn. He is hitting .294 coming into this doubleheader. He's batted in 2 runs. Tacked on a couple more in the first half with a 2-run double. That gets past Gus Holland for ball 4, so accomplishes the same thing a walk would have. Gunlaw to second. Weirn on with 2 down, and Dylan Furman comes up to the plate. Not the man you want to see if you're Kopecky. The last pitch he saw, he hammered all the way to the wall out in the left. Did not drive home a run, though it had the chance to. And that's well hit, but right at Reese Owens in right to end the inning. The Nor'easters keep their 1-run cushion, do not add to it. The Lightning have a chance to cut into that as we head to the bottom of the 4th, halfway home in Standish. Bottom of the 4th at the Larry Mahaney Diamond. Colin McDonald back out for a 4th frame. He will face the heart of the Lightning order, Heffernan, Gilboy, and Hotham, starting with the reigning Gatorade Baseball Player of the Year in Maine, Heffernan, who grounded out his first time up. Since his single in the 4th inning of the first half of this doubleheader, he has not reached base, struck out and grounded out twice. Takes strike 1 from McDonald. Line sharply in the glove of the third baseman over to first. What a play that was. A diving stop by Gus Lappin, able to connect with his first baseman, Chessie, for out number 1. And Andrew Heffernan just cannot catch a break. He goes down for out number 1. Richie Gilboy flew out to center field in the first inning. He has just a lone single to his name today. Massive cut. Into left field. Coming in, making the grab is Brady Graffam. Quick 2 outs. Grady Hotham struck out. He has done so all 4 times he has been at bat today across 2 games, 3 in the first game and 1 so far today. It has not been the Erskine Academy Graduates Day. Fouled back for strike 1. Hotham's average probably down a bit. It was already low at 158 heading into today. 7 runs batted in is something to be proud of, though. 1-1. Henry Bebo on deck. Colin McDonald still has yet to give up a hit. And Hotham just cannot solve this. He goes down on strikes for out number 3, a record fast inning for Colin McDonald. He is not slowing down anytime soon. As the 5th inning ready to get going, Nor'easters 1, Lightning none. To the 5th inning we go with Josh Kopetsky in for a 4th inning of relief. He is the de facto starter today, and Libby got one more inning of work before sitting down, or not quite sitting down, heading to first base. He will face the trio of Lappin, Cloutier, and Brissett, the bottom of the order for the Nor'easters. Lappin hit a sac fly to drive in the Nor'easters' only run today after the Dylan Furman triple. Down 0-2 quickly. South Portland native deals, just misses. Into the final 3 frames of this one. Final 3 innings, I suppose. As Lappin takes high. Nor'easters poised for a sweep of this doubleheader to widen their lead on the GNCBL's 1 seed with the playoffs approaching. Lappin takes to bring the count full from 0-2. Plate discipline on a few errant Josh Kopetsky offerings. And a payoff pitch now. Mile high pop-up. I got it, says the helpful Lightning bench player. That was a Nor'easter bench player. Seventh pitch of the at-bat to Furman. And he sits down, looks at strike 3. That's the 3rd K for Kopetsky. Living up to the first letter of his last name there. And the other 2 Ks that he has today are the next 2 men that are due up. Max Cloutier and Hunter Brissett both went down on swinging strikes. First offering goes high for Kopetsky. No activity in either bullpen yet. Both teams happy with their starter, and for good reason. Kopetsky really just one mistake on the Furman triple. Other than that, he has been nearly spotless. But his bats have not been able to solve the Colin McDonald riddle after being flummoxed by Dylan Miner in the first half of the doubleheader. We are getting an even more dominant performance. Miner, as great as he was, gave up 6 hits. McDonald has yet to give up a single one. In the dirt for ball 3. Three-one count to the second baseman. And that's hit well into center. Lodger under it. And makes the grab right in front of the warning track. 2 down. 100% struck out looking to lead the second inning off. He has been the Grady Hotham of the Nor'easters lineup. Has not been able to reach base yet. His box score has been a bit less unfortunate than Hotham's. Only 1 K to his name, a couple ground outs and a fly out as well. Across his 2 games and 4 outings to the plate. It's one way to refer to an at-bat, I suppose. 0-1 from Kopetsky. Bases empty, 2 down. Low and away. Seeking the elusive 1-2-3 inning. In for strike 2. No Lightning pitcher has recorded a 1-2-3 frame yet today. On the ground to third, Gilboy, and he tried to make a throw on the run and couldn't come up with it. So the 1-2-3 frame eludes Kopecky still. Brissett finally reaching base, albeit on an error, but he will take it. Jack LeBlanc has struck out and walked before being cut down on the classic pickle. Trying to take a massive lead with the lefty on the mound, never a good idea. He comes up empty on a Kopecky breaking ball. Hit high and deep into left, arcing foul, and Nick Swain just barely couldn't cover enough ground. If he had laid out, he might have been able to catch it. But that's a long strike. Oh, 2 out. 100% on first. Taken high. Runner goes, and cut and a miss for strike 3. Kopecky strikes out LeBlanc for the second time and ends the inning. Nothing doing for the Nor'easters since that one run in the second, but so far it's all they've needed. The Lightning have 3 more chances to pull even or take the lead, the first of which coming right up in the bottom of the 5th. Colin McDonald is hitless through 4, and he's got Bibeau, Holland, and Owens due up in the 5th. The Lightning have just one base runner in this game today. It was a Henry Bibeau hit by pitch in the second inning, and now Bibeau bats again. If it wasn't for that, McDonald would be perfect. Bounding ball foul, just nearly had enough height to clear the railing into the press box. I have absolutely no protection here. The unimpeded view from the press box to the field that you are seeing is no illusion. There is no glass, no shield, no anything. So with the lefty at the bat, tremors run through any press box occupant's spine. That's fouled back. 0-2 count on Bibeau. Finally, some activity in the Lightning bullpen. Believe that's Andrew Heffernan working. 0-2 from McDonald. Inside. He has got 6 Ks so far. After Dylan Miner in the first half of this doubleheader got himself 10. But as I said before, Miner gave up 6 hits. McDonald so far has given up none. And I suppose I shouldn't be harping on it, because these things do have superstitious merit. Still, though, 2-2. And that's strikeout number 7. Bibeau fans, and now McDonald has recorded an out against every member of this lineup. After the Bibeau hit by pitch, he has faced 9 batters and struck out 6 of them. And that's a chase on a low and away pitch by Gus Holland. Line through the hole, and that'll end the no-hitter. Into left field goes Holland, the opposite way. And for the first time, the Lightning have a man on via a hit. Holland had popped out previously, and now Rhys Owens, with one away, struck out. He was the first of 4 straight strikeouts across the end of the second through the third inning. Colin McDonald struck out the side in the third. Owens looks at a low offering. Even after all this dominance, all it would take is one good hit for the Lightning to even this up, because the Nor'easters, for their part, have not exactly torn the cover off the ball either. That one gets past Andrew Merrill and will advance the runner. Holland down to second. First time anyone has reached that base on Colin McDonald's watch. One away. Slapped to short. Thrown over to Chessie, and that's over his head. And that will score the run. Gus Holland comes in on a bad throw from the shortstop, Jack LeBlond. And just like that, this game is tied. Rhys Owens able to get to second on that. And now, after 4 innings of dominance, cracks beginning to form for McDonald, although, to be fair, that run was not earned. Ian Libby has struck out looking. Also struck out swinging and singled in the last game. In a newly tied game here in the top of the 6th. And that caught him in the foot. That could not have felt good. Libby hops down to first base. That's the second hit by pitch for McDonald. And now a mound conference with Max Zalewski Jr. and catcher Merrill out to talk with their ace, Josh Kopetsky, due up, who also struck out his last time up. Nor'easters with some bullpen activity. Ryan Penny working. We may see the full trio of the Nor'easters' talented arms. Minor in game 1, McDonald to start this one, and Penny to finish it. But first, McDonald's got to get out of this inning. With 1 down, 2 men on, 1 run already in. It is now a bona fide jam, and Josh Kopetsky looking to keep it going. Showing bunt, lays down a beauty, and that throw gets through. That will score another run. It was fielded well by the third baseman Lappin, but could not connect with Luke Chessie. So Owens scoring from second. Ian Libby reaches third, and Kopetsky aboard. Once again on the error, and now the Lightning take the lead with 2 unearned runs in the top of the 6th. Runner goes, McDonald fires ball 1. Merrill doesn't bother throwing down. Henry Lodger was the one who took that. He has grounded out and struck out. McDonald all of a sudden laboring here. Lined through the middle for a base hit. Ian Libby comes around to score the third run of the inning, and rounding third, going for home, is Josh Kopetsky. He will get there. Throw to second to try and pick off Lodger was not fielded cleanly. So Ian Libby gets in to give the Lightning a 3-1 lead, and Henry Lodger, with some heads-up base running, able to get to second. Kopetsky scored all the way from first on that after the diving attempt from Jack LeBlanc came up empty. And it's a 3-1 ball game. Excuse me. Libby and Kopetsky both scored on that as Andrew Heffernan pops out for out number 2. Richie Gilboy with 2 out. And Henry Lodger on second. He has flied out twice. Comes up empty on a McDonald breaking ball. The Gorham High School graduate just trying to escape without any more damage, though he has certainly put his team in a hole. Gilboy dances out of the way, and Merrill can't field that cleanly. So down to third goes Lodger. One and one with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. I think I've incorrectly called it the top of the 6th a couple times. 2 and 1. If the Lightning can grab this win, they move to 8 and 6. The Nor'easters fall to 11 and 9, which would mean the Lightning, by a few percentage points, would be in first in the GNCBL. Nor'easters, of course, with 5 games in hand. 3 and 1. Popped him up into left, into foul territory, coming on the third baseman, and he could not track that correctly. Gus Lappin had to double back and couldn't come up with a catch. So 3 and 2. McDonald gets Gilboy to fan to end the inning. That is McDonald's 8th K, but it comes after an inning in which 4 Lightning players come around to score, and a rickety 1-0 lead is now a 3-run deficit. The Lightning get a chance to answer as we head to the top of the 6th. The Nor'easters with 2 more chances to even up this 4-1 game. The first of which coming right now with Josh Kopetsky on for a 5th inning in relief, technically. Brady Graffam has flied out and singled. Cuts and misses at strike 1. Fouled back. Quick out 2 against Kopetsky, who, as I said, has pitched well, and now in line to get the win. Has not allowed a hit since a Michael Weirn single. Weirn is 2 for 2 in this game. The rest of the Nor'easters lineup has 2 hits combined. And that got Gus Holland, and he is shaken up. That got him in an unfortunate location. Perfectly placed foul tip off the bat of Graffam, and Holland is in some pain. We'll see if he stays in the game. He most likely has to, because it doesn't look like there's anyone in the Lightning dugout to replace him. So he will take as much time as he needs, and we will be back to the action after this. Bottom of the sixth ready to begin, and Colin McDonald's day is done. 5 innings of work, only allowed 2 hits, and struck out 8, but gave up 4 runs, a couple of them not earned, in the 5th inning. So he is gone, and Andrew Pruill is on, the senior at Thomas College from Warren, Madomic Valley High School graduate, to face off against Hotham, Bebo, and Holland. As this game nears its end, Hotham takes ball 1. The 5th inning has been a problem inning for the Nor'easters dating back to Thursday, when they held a 3-0 lead over the Windjammers before allowing a Brendan Concannon home run that opened the floodgates for 9 runs across the 5th and 6th innings, a deficit they could not fight back from. And so it has happened again today. They were spared from it in the first game, but the fates come asking always. Grady Hotham 1-2. Trying to snap his strikeout streak of 5 straight. First look he's had at Pruill today. And 3 Ks in game 1, followed by 3 Ks in game 2, and all but one of them were swinging, so, you know, at least he's trying. He has been a steady hitter and a productive player for the Lightning over the season with his 7 runs batted in, but today has not been Grady Hotham's day. Now, Henry Bebo, who has been hit by a pitch and struck out. Overall, that's the 9th K today in this game across Pruill and McDonald. Dylan Miner in game 1 had 10 by himself, so that's the benchmark to clear. They can clear it if they strike out the side in this bottom of the 6th. Maybe tack on a few in the 7th. 1-2. Warren native leaves it low. Pruill this season has pitched 18 1/3 innings, has a 5.35 ERA and a 1.58 walks and hits per innings pitched. Nothing astounding, but he's been an innings eater for them, as that's lined in a center field. Under it, making the grab, 100% for out number 2. Now, Gus Holland will bat, and he was the start of the unraveling of Colin McDonald's day. He ended his no-hit bid with a single and was the first of 5 straight players to reach and 4 straight players to score. Taking ball 1 is the Freeport native. Took a good shot to the midsection while catching last inning. Standing in now, though. 1-1 against the Thomas College pitcher. Now 1-2. Pruill at 6'2", right-handed. A criminal justice major at Thomas, as that's down the left field line for a base hit, fielded by Brady Graffam. And Holland's got himself a single, second of the day for him. So Rhys Owens will bat with 2 down and a man on. He has struck out and reached on an error. Those 4 straight strikeouts that Colin McDonald had the first time through the lineup, all 4 of those players reached base the second time they batted, and all but one of them scored. That was Henry Lodger, who was stranded at third base. 0-1 is popped up into foul territory and off the roof of the Lightning dugout. Oh and 2 for the South Portland native. Actually, Owens is from Buxton, a Bonnie Eagle graduate. Pruill gets him to chase for strike 3, and that will tie their mark from the first half of the doubleheader. 10 strikeouts through 6 innings. And now, the Nor'easters with one final chance. Andrew Merrill, Michael Weirn, and Dylan Furman, the final 3 men to try to pull even or take the lead in a 4-1 game here at the Larry Mahaney Diamond. Top of the 7th, last chance for the Nor'easters, and Josh Kopetsky's day is done. What a day it was. 5 innings, allowed just 2 hits, 1 run, and struck out 5. He is in line for the win as long as the closer for the Lightning, Andrew Heffernan, can close this out. Andrew Merrill first at the bat. He has grounded out and flied out. In the first game, he walked and then struck out twice, so since that first at bat, he has not reached base. One on one. Hit hard into right. Going back, Lodger to make the catch. 1 away. Now here's somebody you want up in a rally situation like this. Michael Weirn has had a great day. In the first game, he doubled, was hit by a pitch and flied out, and so far today he has singled twice. He's also been thrown out at home. Lined into center field for a base hit, and his hot streak continues. That's the 3rd single of the day. He is 3 for 3. Just the 4th hit allowed, or excuse me, that's the 5th hit allowed on the day by the Lightning pitchers, and Weirn has over half of them. Now Dylan Furman, who has another one of those. He tripled in the second inning. Fouled off his shin. He's going to walk that off. Furman has also flied out, and in the first game, flied out twice more and walked. Furman with a bit of a limp, walking gingerly on that left foot, but he will continue his at-bat with 1 away and a man on. Grounded to second, on to the bag for 1, and no, he is out, but the shortstop, Bebo, couldn't field it cleanly. So Furman reaches on a fielder's choice. And now Gus Lappin is the final out for the Nor'easters, and Ryan Penny on to pinch run for Furman, who is clearly in some discomfort. Lappin has sac flied and struck out, drove in the Nor'easters' only run. Looks at a ball. In game one, he's struck out, singled, and grounded out. And fouls that off his shin. Looks to be fine, though. Heffernan trying to avoid dragging this out. He's been an effective closer in addition to all the hitting he's done. On the ground, Bibeau over to Libby, and that'll do it. The Lightning and the Nor'easters split a doubleheader, with the Lightning taking game 2 4-1 on the back of a great pitching performance from Josh Kopetsky and a productive fifth inning with their bats. They move to 8-6. The Nor'easters fall to 11-9. They still are the two top teams in the GNCBL, and whoever comes out on top between them, it will come down to the wire. They very well could have just watched 2 rounds of a GNCBL championship game preview. These teams both looking good. Well, that's it for me. You'll hear from me next on Tuesday with a doubleheader at Old Orchard Beach down at the ballpark. I hope you enjoyed the 2 games I called here. If you've been keeping up with the action, you'll know that the playoffs are right around the corner, about 10 days away. If not, go back and watch some of the more games on the Greater Northeast Collegiate Baseball League channel that you're watching this one on. Until you hear from me again, though, I've been Charlie Fellows, and take care.